Section 2.7 deals with marginal analysis in business and economics. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to look at applying derivatives here into our business and economics problems. So anytime you see the word marginal in this course, from here on out, so the word marginal refers to the rate of change, which is the derivative. So if I ask you to find the marginal cost, I want you to find the derivative of the cost function. If I ask you to find the marginal profit, I want you to find the derivative of the profit function, etc. Marginal equals derivative from here on out. So what is a cost function? What is a revenue function? What is a profit function? So just in general, a cost function is going to be their fixed cost plus their variable cost. So marginal cost again represents the instantaneous rate of cost relative to a given production level. It is just the derivative of the cost function. Revenue, the total revenue or revenue function is just going to be the revenue realized from the sale of X units of a commodity. So if you know the price, then your revenue is just going to be the number of units you sold X times your price. Marginal revenue, like I said before, is just going to be that instantaneous rate of change for revenue at a certain production level. Your profit, just in general, profit is equal to revenue minus cost. So marginal profit is the derivative of the profit function. But profit is revenue minus cost. How much you make minus how much it costs for you to make that. Couple other things before we go on to the first example. Marginal cost and exact cost. Now I only did this for marginal cost and exact cost. The same things can be said about marginal versus exact profit, and then revenue, etc. Okay, so I just did it for the cost, but profit and revenue could follow this as well. So the cost function gives us the total cost of producing X number of units, right? To find the exact cost of producing that, this is saying, hey, to find the exact cost of producing this, what are you going to look for? You're going to look for your delta Y. How do you find delta Y? Well, delta Y is that, remember, f of x plus delta x minus f of x. So in this case, if you want to find the exact cost of producing something when you have two successive values, so the exact cost of producing one more item, the one more item is your x plus 1, and your other item is x. So this gives you the exact cost of producing the x plus first item. The marginal cost is kind of the same thing as your dy here. It's going to equal f prime of x times dx. Well, it's going to be the derivative, right? The derivative of the cost function, but you evaluate it at x, not x plus 1. Remember when we were evaluating things in section 2.6 and we said, okay, what do we plug into the differential? We plug in the first one, not the next one. So you've got to make sure when you're finding your marginal cost or your marginal revenue or those things that you plug in, not the x plus first item, but the x item, right? Whatever the one before that one is. So again, like it says there, similar arguments can be made for marginal profit and marginal revenue. I'm not going to write all those things out, but it would be the same thing if you're asked to do that. So let's look at example 1. Example 1 says that the total cost in dollars of producing X microwave ovens is C of x is equal to 5,000 plus 120x minus 0.06x squared plus 0.0002x cubed. A, find the exact cost of manufacturing the 201st oven. And B, find the marginal cost to approximate the cost of producing the 201st oven. So let's start with part A. What is the exact cost? In order to find that exact cost of the 201st oven, it's going to be the cost of the 201st oven minus the cost of the 200th oven. So it's going to be the cost of the 201st oven minus the cost of the 200th oven. Because here these are successive values, so my delta x is always going to equal 1 in this case. So I need to figure out what is C of 201 and what is C of 200. Well, C of 201, what that's telling me to do is plug in an x and all my x's in my C of x. So in this case, it's going to be whatever 5,000 plus 120 times 201 minus 0.06 times 201 squared plus 0.002, sorry, 0.002 times 201 cubed is. So we're going to plug that into a calculator real quick. So in a calculator, so 5,000 plus 120 times 201 minus 0.06 times 201 squared plus 0.0002 times 201 to the third. You hit enter and you get $28,320.06. So it would be $28,320.06. Well, then what is C of 200? Because I need C of 200 in order to find the exact cost. Well, C of 200 would equal same exact thing, except for instead of writing 201, we write 200. So I'm just going to write that out and then grab the calculator and change the number to 200 and then do this again. Again in your calculator, and what I'm going to do, hit second and then enter. That's my last entry. And then I'm just going to scroll and change all my 201s into 200s. Hit enter and I get 28,200. 28,200. So the exact cost of the 201st oven would be whatever $28,320.06 minus $28,200 is, and that is $120.06. So the exact cost of producing that 201st oven is $120.06. Well, what is the marginal cost? What is B? What is the marginal cost? Well, again, anytime you see the word marginal, you start by taking the derivative. So let's take the derivative of the cost function. The derivative of a constant is 0. The derivative of 120x is 120. Remember, x is x to the first power. When we take its derivative, it becomes x to the 0, which is just 1, so we ignore. Then multiply 2 times that, so that's negative 0.12. X to 1 less, 2 minus 1 is 1, plus multiply, so this is 0.0006 x, and then it becomes squared because it's 3 minus 1, which is 2. So that's the derivative. So to find the marginal cost of producing the 201st oven, remember, you evaluate it at whatever x is. You do not evaluate it at x plus 1. Well, what's the x? Well, the x is 200. So we evaluate it at 200. So C prime of 200 is equal to 120 minus 0.12 times 200 plus 0.0006 times 200 squared. And again, you just grab a calculator and figure that out. And clear this and put it in there. So 120 minus 0.12 times 200 plus 0.0006 times 200 squared. And you get 120. So the marginal cost is 120, pretty close to the exact cost. So the marginal cost gives me a good approximation as to how much it would cost me if I produced just one more microwave oven.